Yes people, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please do consider smashing that subscribe button, smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's get into today's video. So today I'm going to be reacting to the video how I became an overnight millionaire, and this is, please excuse my butchering of the name, but Sorelle Amore Finance. Sorelle, yeah, I'm going to go Sorelle. First time I've seen her channel, come across this video, and yeah, I want to watch it together. So she looks like someone I will probably be watching, so I'm going to get into the video and let's react to it.
I reached my lifelong dream of becoming a millionaire at 30. Lots of people like to think that this is an overnight success story, and so in this video I'll be sharing my story, my journey, considering it's one of the first videos on this brand new YouTube channel dedicated to finance and freedom.
Okay, so she's obviously a YouTuber. She's made a channel dedicated to finance, which is what we like to hear on this channel. So okay, we'll have to check out our other channel as well.
And hopefully I can show you that there's a little bit more that might go into becoming an overnight millionaire. So yes, welcome to my brand new YouTube channel, Abundantia, where we talk all things finance and freedom. It is a topic I've been passionate about my entire life, and I cannot believe I get to finally talk about it openly now that I've accumulated so much knowledge about this topic. It's time for me to share it with the world. Abundantia means abundance.
So with that as well, like you see people, and some of the people I speak to, and they're like so skeptical about people that like have achieved great success, and then they like tell everyone about it and tell people how to do it. It's like, yeah, but what do you do once you've achieved that success? You try and help others. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are still very, very skeptical about that. Obviously, some of it is bullshit, of course, but
abundance, and it's the name of a Roman goddess of prosperity and abundance, and the aim is to help you become in control of your own finances. But I think first thing is first, we need to get to know each other. You need to trust that I'm the right person to take you on this brand new journey of learning to love the energy of finances and wealth creation. So my overnight millionaire story. Let's try to speed through this as fast as possible. Age 2, my mum tells me a story of us going to a theme park.
That's a cute picture.
And she gave us a little bit of cash to spend and enjoy ourselves. We didn't come from money. We definitely did not come from money. So this was a really big treat. At the end of the day, mum asked us, how did we spend our money? What did we do? My brother and my sister answered and said what they spend their money on. And then there was me. I just showed my mum the coins. I was like, I didn't spend it. I really enjoyed just watching Steph and Conrad spend the money. But I wanted to keep it because I really like saving.
Saving from an early age. Money management from 2 years old. Impressive.
That was at 2 years old. So this basically paves the way of my mentality towards finances. At the age of 12, I got my first job working with my uncle washing cars. $20 I got for one day's work on.
No way. That was my first job. I'm not a millionaire yet, but
on a Saturday, and they paid us with pizza as well. $20. I was the happiest 12-year-old in the entire world. At the age of 13, I have a very strong recollection that around here I started making sure I had a minimum of $2,000 in my bank account at all times, and I would not let it dip under that until 27, when I came really, really close to being dead broke. You can see the pattern here where I was very, very careful about finances from.
Even that's a young age to be consciously thinking that I need to have 2K saved up in my bank account. There's 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds that don't have that.
It's from such an early age. When I was 15, I had multiple little jobs in cafes, saved my money very carefully there. When I was 16, joyful, my mom and my stepdad decided to start charging us rent. It wasn't a lot of rent, but it was in comparison to how much I was making at the time. I was 16, I was still meant to have 2 years of being financially not caring. Taught me an important lesson. Adulting costs, and if you can't get your finances in order, you're gonna have a lot of trouble because they don't teach you this at school. Hence why this YouTube channel.
That is the thing, people. Like, if you're watching this and you're at school, I learned a lot more on YouTube than I did at school. Like, I don't feel bad in saying that, but even listening to videos like this, watching videos like this, you're seeing successful people not being horrible and not being thingy to teachers, but the only thing you can learn from a teacher at school is how to become a teacher, because that is what they're doing and that's what they can teach you. So I always say, like, research financially independent people. And even me doing this video now, me watching it, me consuming this, like, I see this as research. And obviously I'm filming a video, so infinite monetization loop from Graham Stephan, of course. Watching these type of videos, studying these type of people, this lady is amazing. I can tell straight away, but you can see these certain traits that she has and picking up on things that she does. Even that, it's gonna make you more aware of your own finances.
To try to get you in control of your finances, because they failed to mention during the schooling system something so important that will dictate everything that we do the minute we become independent. Important topic, in my opinion, to be studied. I got you. When I was 17, the journey of me wanting to travel the world started because I wanted to volunteer in Canada. But the privilege of volunteering back in the day was $6,000. I had to pay to volunteer for 6 months. I really wanted to go because you didn't have these volunteer organizations online that you have right now. So this was really my only way. So together with my mom and my stepdad, we created strategy.
Computer life. Gangster online business women. Mum and I are working on big projects this month. Mumsy is the reason I'm now working for myself through this online world. Thanks, Mum. Hashtag winning. Love that. Mum was my earliest inspiration of working online and learning marketing. Thanks, Mum. I love that.
Strategies on how I was going to raise that money. We decided to help me make $12,000. That was our aim, so that I could have extra money.
I love this bracelet thing she's got on, by the way. What the hell is that? That is like a fucking Iron Man suit.
Me make $12,000. That was our aim, so that I could.
That's not a tattoo, is that? That's like hanging off her arm.
Could have extra money because I wasn't going to be paid when I was overseas. I was a volunteer, so I needed some cash to survive. So after brutal work after work after work, fails, successes, running live events, really awkward ways of saving money, I was successful. So I was on my way on my first independent travel trip. When I was 18, I had 4 pub jobs while studying full time. When I was 20, I got my first and only corporate job. I actually ended up negotiating as a fresh young little chicken, spring chicken, a salary of 50,000 Australian dollars. This was double of what I was making as a bartender.
Very nice.
It blew me away. And 18 months later, I was cheeky. I needed to step up into the role of marketing manager instead of marketing coordinator, and we were hiring. So I negotiated to increase my salary by an extra $20,000. I was so cheeky. You
see, the best thing that she said about it was negotiating. It's like one of the best skills that anyone can have. Under sales, well, it comes under sales really, but negotiating. Even if you're working in a normal 9-to-5 job, improving your negotiation skills can be incredible.
I put it down to me working extremely hard, proving my value and knowing my worth as well. The cockiness that I exuded here, I'm really proud of it, because oftentimes I know that females, we shy away from negotiating, and I have not had that. I'm like, give me what I'm worth now. 2 years of working in this job, I decided to quit. A really well-paying job, and concentrate on my first ever business called Pinup Passion. It was an online website, which unfortunately was a hobby more than anything, because I didn't know how to monetize a business. I was afraid of monetization, so that made it a hobby. A very good lesson in prioritizing money making and not being afraid of selling. Otherwise, you are not going to be able to free yourself financially by shying away from the one thing that makes your business a business, and that is making money. This business, I also dabbled in physical products. I lost about $10,000 creating makeup brushes.
Ooh, good lesson though, but $10,000 on makeup, mate. Makeup.
Which completely flopped. It was not the right market, it was not the right tools. $10,000 down the drain. That was a painful lesson. So of course, to make ends meet around this time, I was working bar jobs once again. The ripe age of 24, 25, I had an epiphany to become a photography intern with my friend at Sherbet Birdie Photography. I had zero experience in anything creative, but I just had the hunch, and so I followed it. And so for 3 months, I worked for free because I was so ashamed that I didn't have any photography skills whatsoever. After 3 months, my boss said, hey, I really want to pay you. You're actually doing really great work, because I was trying to prove myself and learn as much as possible.
Another thing to take from this, guys, is when you're going into a new market or you're going into a new industry, do not be afraid to do work for free. Do you know how many people I made videos for free for? A lot, like a lot. You know, it's that experience that you get from doing it. Clearly, like this lady has obviously done incredible things, now a millionaire, but she would probably say, yeah, I'd work for free, versus someone, I'm not going to butcher anyone here, but like someone that works a 9 to 5, does nothing Saturday and Sunday, and the idea of going and working for free on a Saturday would be like, absolutely not. So yeah, it's important.
Because I was just so grateful for the opportunity for someone to take such a noob on like me. And so I got paid, but I still didn't allow my boss to pay me too much because I was still ashamed. So I substituted my income with bar jobs. Thank you so much to Sasha, because this is the part where I learned so much about customer service, quality, photography, and business. Thank you for changing my life. Shortly after, I became a photography assistant and a videographer for corporate events. It all happened so fast. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was Googling things on the job because I had the mindset of whatever it takes.
And that's all you need to do, people. You need to just get in. So many people will be like, oh, I can't do that because I don't know how to do it. But it's like, figure it out as you go. Like, just get started, figure it out as you go. You are literally on a platform right now that you can type in how to do X and probably 100, 200, 300 videos will come up with the answer. So just dive in.
I was working about 16-hour days to make everything work and juggle everything. I would say I've been working 16-hour days from the age of 19 to 28. I'm gonna say it was almost 10 years of me grinding, because there was no way I was giving up on my dream of learning to make money online and be able to travel full time. That was the ultimate goal, and I was not gonna stop until I got there. And then at the age of 26, my heart decided to mess everything up. And it said, hey, Sorelle, you should drop everything that you're doing and you should move to Europe one way. That was unexpected. I thought my life was set. I was making, I thought, the most amount of money I would ever make in my life. Maybe like 5,000 Australian dollars a month. I was overwhelmed. But the hours went amazing. I'll give myself that.
Yeah, that's interesting that like you sort of get to that point, like so she was making the most money she's ever made. But I always find it interesting when there's a lot of people that make a lot of money but they've got no time to spend it. Right. And it's like, that's one thing I think people need to think about is like, you might have this big financial goal, but it's like, okay, but what do you actually need to be doing to make that money? So it's like, you more so want to look at what's your ideal day look like. And it's like, okay, well, how can I just get to that goal? Do you necessarily need as much money as you thought before? You might do, or you might not. You might only need half of what you need, half of what you thought you needed, but you're gonna live a much more happy life, not working X amount of hours per week.
Of that, I was willing to take the risk, so I dropped everything. And with 20,000 Australian dollars saved up after 10 years of grinding like a crazy person and not spending anything because I was always such a tight ass, I was on my way to Europe. My one-way ticket to Europe quickly took me to Iceland, one of the most expensive countries in the entire world. And so my money was basically almost out after 1 year. At the age of 27.
She stayed in Iceland for a year. Crazy. I've never been to Iceland.
I was down to my final $1,000 and my rent was due, which was $800. I didn't know how I was gonna get out of this. And my dad, a few months prior, said, hey, if you ever need any financial help, just let me know. This was not normal for my parents to offer any financial support because they taught us to be so hyper independent. But I was so down to my last dollars and I said to myself like, oh, my dad said he'd offer help. So I reached out to him. Hey dad, can you help me? And he said, okay, I want a detailed proposal of how you're gonna use the money and when you intend to give it back to me with interest. I was pissed at my dad because it was already so much work for me to ask someone.
That's like ratings to dad though, like ratings to dad. One, he's taught her like obviously good money habits from young, but also like, yeah, that's interesting. Ratings to dad.
Ask someone for financial help, something that I was so ashamed to do previously, and it taught me a great lesson. Number one, don't ask your parents for cash because they have their own bills. But number two, there is no such thing as free money. There are always conditions attached to free money. So I like to not ever chase free money and work for my money. The next step then in my very crappy financial situation was to get a job, and I'm very thankful that I was able to land a job. But I will say it was one of the worst jobs I've ever worked in my entire life. I was treated like absolute shit for 3 months. I'll never forget these people. However, I'm thankful I was able to save up a little bit of money.
Oh man, what's the job?
And during the same time, this is where things start turning around for me. There was a competition called the best job on the planet. Win 3 months of travels $10,000 US a month. I wiped off my tears for being so shot down with the lack of finances and control over my life, and I created a submission video. Round 1, round 2, round 3, finally round 4, I won.
Woo! Well done.
Out of 17,000 people, I won, and I traveled the world. It was an amazing experience. This is where
That's a great little trip, you know, though.
This is where I got to use all my photography experience, my marketing background, my social media background, my travel expertise that I have acquired over my life. So it was as if everything was coming together, and for the first time in such a long time, I knew that
How does 28-year-old earned 10K a month to travel the world in luxury? Unreal. Look at that as well, underneath, someone's commented, third home certainly captured our portfolio of luxury vacation homes beautifully.
might have a crack at making my dream of becoming financially independent, or at least getting paid to travel. It was coming true. My aim from the youngest age was to become a millionaire by 30, and I was already 27, 28, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna make that happen. But this was my very first sign that something could turn around for me, and it came out of the blue like that.
If you're able to believe in Santa Claus for like 8 years, you can believe in yourself for like 5 seconds, okay? You got this. Very true.
Everything can change overnight for you. Don't forget that, okay? Magic is real. And here is the next lesson I learned about finances. I was meant to end up with 30,000 US because I had all expenses paid for my trips. Yeah, I ended up with 16, which is still nice, don't get me wrong, but where did $14,000 go when I was traveling, all expenses paid? That's incredibly financially irresponsible. It taught me that if you do not know how to organize your finances, and if you do not track your finances, it will go to someone else that knows how to organize their finances and manage their finances far more. Huge, important lesson, because I wasn't yet aware of how much money was coming my way.
Take notes, people. Take notes. It doesn't matter if you've got 30 grand in the bank or 300 grand in the bank. If you don't know how to manage your money, it's going.
And I had to know how to organize my finances to be ready to receive. The next part of my journey is where a lot of you know me from. This is where I started my YouTube channel.
Okay, so this is her main channel here, Sorelle, I hope I'm saying that right, Sorelle Amore.
The hunch that told me 6 years prior, start a YouTube channel. And so I did, and I grinded for 2.5 years creating content non-stop so I could grow my social media channels, and I did. I grew my main channel to about 1 million.
Nice.
And my Instagram to about 500,000. So thank you so much for being here on my journey. And then the fun starts. All of my prior knowledge of corporate videography work, marketing work in my corporate job, everything was coming to join forces and make my dream come true. In 2018, 2019, I released 2 courses, 1 course a year, and just from course sales alone, I made $640,000 in my company of revenue. I just am finalizing everything for my launch of the Instagram course that I have created over the last few months. It is my second digital product that I'm putting on sale as a YouTuber. This whole launch over the next month, perhaps, could result in me becoming a millionaire. I remember when I was young and I was like, by the time I'm 30, I want—
Look how happy she is recording this video, man. I love this.
I want to have $1 million. I want to be a millionaire. In 2020, a year of crisis, where lots of people said it's impossible to make cash, everybody's going downhill. Incorrect. There are so many opportunities, and my business proved that to be correct. In 1 month, I made course sales alone of $500,000 US revenue.
$340,000 in 24 hours.
The exact same year, I also bought 3 houses outright, 2 in Australia and 1 in Iceland. The 2 in Australia actually have production.
She loved a bit of Iceland. She went back to Iceland to buy a house.
Land and lots of land preservation, because these are the fun things you get to do when you have cash. You get to preserve land or do whatever that you care about. You make the world a better place when you have finances. So for people to tell you that money's evil, no, money amplifies the person that you are in your heart already. Oh yes, so when did I become a millionaire? Backtracking a little bit. December 2019, a month shy of my 31st birthday, I became a millionaire. $1,064,381.
Unreal.
I'm a millionaire. And ever since then, it's just been up and up and up. And so this is my story of how I became an overnight millionaire. So obviously this didn't happen overnight, but it was to show you my journey of how long it actually took to get here, the struggles, the unfortunate setbacks, the trajectory of your life that isn't the way that you thought it was going to be, but showing that overnight things can change because you never know what's going to happen. You can't always expect that the worst is going to happen. The best could also happen. But it was always this commitment to my journey of learning to structure my finances and not giving up on my goal.
That's the most important part about that is she had the goal and she just continued working towards it. She wasn't afraid to go and work for free. She wasn't afraid to go and work in a bar. She wasn't afraid to travel the world, get that experience. Mate, it's very inspiring, love it.
Of being able to travel full time, live wherever I wanted to, work online, that was the primary goal. And I was willing to do whatever it took, no matter how long it took, because I would have rather spend 10 to 20 years working out this model than go down a track where I would be in an office for 40 years. Now, I'm not saying that working for someone else is bad. Absolutely not. It's a blessing, obviously, but it's not for me. I love to be in control of my finances and not have a glass ceiling and not have to answer to someone to say, hey, I want to go on a lunch break now. I don't want that type of control. And so this channel is dedicated to sharing the wisdom that I've acquired over my period of time to learn how to prosper and have abundance. And I do 100% believe wholeheartedly that this is possible for everybody. That's why I'm so excited for this journey. Also, together with Leon, the last 18 months, we have been studying so much about finance structures around the world, learning how to minimize tax legally, learning how to structure your finances and companies around the world to secure your wealth and to minimize your tax, learning about global investment, global wealth structures, acquiring extra residences, passports, because the ultimate thing for us.
See, one thing you need to look at that as well, yeah, is like, she's already become a millionaire and she is studying finances. So it's like, they always say like most of the people that can retire early probably won't retire early because they're the people that they just love what they do. They're really incredible. Continuing to learn, continuing to want to give back, starting this YouTube channel to give back to her audience. Incredible, I love it.
For me, for him, it's freedom. We want to have freedom, and this is, we believe, a human right, and so we're sharing what we've known because nobody else is going to share it. I'm putting myself on the line here. Lots of people think that talking about finances and tax is somehow taboo. No, it's not. It's a beautiful journey. So thank you so much for being one of these people open to learning and taking control of this in your own life. I know you can do it. So thank you for trusting me on this journey. Even if you don't want to be a millionaire, you just want to have a good cushion behind you to secure your future, your family's future, or just to have the freedom to move around the planet because you don't necessarily need to be tied to your own country, especially if you don't like the trajectory that your country is going down. We want to help you discover some different options. So over the next coming months, we'll be expanding Abundantia to include podcasts.
Amazing, guys. Go and check out her channel. I'm going to leave it in the description below. Go and subscribe. Leave this video a like. If you did like this type of reaction video, go and check out this video. I'm going to be doing more of these reaction videos, getting other people's stories on the channel as well, giving my opinion and reacting to them. So hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.